It's the SKOR North Twins Show.
All right, let's fire up that burner here, Dex. We got hot stove updates. Oh,
Reckless
yeah.
speculation.
To say the Twins have been in no danger of leaving that propane on because they haven't really done anything yet. This is the SKOR North Twins Show here, and we have an Immaculate Grid. We don't usually get to do the weekend Immaculate Grids, which are the most fun and easiest to go low on, because we'll do like the Monday, Tuesday one, but we're going to pick the Saturday one and see if we can go low on it. So stay tuned for that. But gentlemen, here's the updated transaction scoreboard. Outgoing from the Twins, Sonny Gray, maybe their best pitcher, Kenta Maeda, Emilio Pagan, gone. Andrew Stevenson, playoff roster, backup center fielder, gone. Tyler Mahle signed with the Rangers. Also, Michael A. Taylor at this point hasn't signed anywhere. At least I haven't seen in the last 24 hours. Donnie Barrels, all these guys are either signed elsewhere or are free agents. But the incoming list of players who've joined the Twins is...
And?
No. Nobody. It's just nobody so far. So, waiting for the first transaction.
Reckless.
Are you saying they've spent
speculation.
$0?
Yeah.
In
fact,
free
Jeff
agency?
Passan
Much like the
had the
Yankees?
graphic. Yeah, well, the Yankees, The Yankees
But
have
they did
spent
get
$0,
Soto.
but they did land Soto in
Yeah.
a trade.
Yeah.
Jeff Passan put out the graphic of, here's the money that's being spent in free agency so far by team. Dodgers, $700 million and all this stuff. And there's like 6 or 7 teams, the Twins are one of them, that have not spent a dime through the first 6 weeks of free agency, nor have the Twins made a trade. Like some of those teams, the Yankees have made a trade of epic proportions.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest nugget here, Declan was sending us some stuff before the show, just update on where the Twins stand with offseason player movement here. Jon Morsi has 2 updates. Number 1, the Twins continue to have conversations about Max Kepler and Jorge Polanco. Those guys are very much still available as they were a month ago. I love when like a report now resurfaces. He's like, I'm hearing these guys are available. It's like Derek Falvey says, hey, can you just remind the baseball world that Max Kepler is available as he has been for the duration of the last 3 years? Just float that out
Re-breaking
there.
news is great. It's sort of like pizza, right? Like it's like that pizza was good. Oh wait, there's a couple slices left. Well, they're cold, but I don't care. They're still
That's
good.
It's cold
Let's
pizza.
put that news in the air fryer. And
That's
it'll come out crispy.
that's Kepler
Great.
and Polanco. It's like, hey, I got some Kepler and Polanco left. Oh, that'll be breakfast.
But Morsi does. I know that he covers over his career. He's been very tight with the Blue Jays front office and I think ownership group at times. So he has sources with the Blue Jays. He did add to that report that the Blue Jays could make some sense as a trade partner for a Kepler or maybe a Polanco. So we've at least advanced it to that point. But I don't know. Your thoughts on Kepler and Polanco still being on the trade block here?
Go ahead, Declan. You throw your 2 cents in.
Well, with the Blue Jays, last year, I thought it was wild that, they had guys like Matt Olson in that playoff series hitting like 8th for them. Matt Olson had a down year, but Matt Olson on 90% of teams is probably hitting like 4 or 5. Like on paper, that Blue Jays lineup is still really good. I don't know if Kepler or Polanco necessarily like pushes it over the top, but you need depth. You need as many players as you can. You need platoon players. So I can see a situation, I guess, where that would make sense. But in terms of all the starters on their staff that are still under control, like I know Ryu is a free agent this year, but they're not going to get one of those 4 main starters. Alex Manoah was a complete disappointment last year after an all-star season in 2022. I don't know if I would be able to take a flyer on Manoah just for Kepler or Polanco's services. So I could see it, and Morsi hinted at this too in that report. They'd be trading those assets in Kepler and Polanco to potentially use it still in free agency. It's not like Kepler Polanco is going to be able to fetch you a frontline starter, and we can probably just answer that they won't. But could they get you, that 5th starter, a back-end guy that can, help solidify starts and innings in your rotation? Maybe. But I don't know if there's anyone in the Blue Jays starting rotation that you can get for Kepler or Polanco.
I think Declan's right. And it's Matt Chapman, right? Who is batting 8th for the Jays?
In that playoff series,
in the series, yeah.
Olson's
In the playoff series.
with the Braves.
Olson.
Yes, he's
Chapman's
the
really
Braves.
good, too.
He's the former A who's a Brave. But anyway, I agree. And yeah, I mean, I think if you think that Polanco or Kepler are going to get you a bunch of, you're like, oh man, the return's going to be great. It's probably not, but yes, you can then free up some cash to make a move. But the Twins are making it very clear, and I mean, I don't love this, but unless we do get a significant trade, and I'm going to tell you right now, it would not be the type of trade, in my opinion, that's Polanco or Kepler. It would be a Julian type of trade. Unless the Twins make a significant trade, I think they're going to stick to what they said, which is, for the most part, they think they have the internal replacements available.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like it's becoming more and more true. And I'm with Dex totally. I think if you believe, Kepler, Polanco, now those are going to be big trades. I think that they are more, and look, they're fine players. Okay. So I'm not trying to denigrate them as players, but I think that they're more, drain clog guys. And if you can trade them, you basically free up the drain. But yeah, if you're going to see another Lopez type of trade, I think that's probably going to be a name that might not be a name Twins fans want to see go. And I don't know, with the concerns about Kirilloff, that it's going to be him. It might be a player that we all think has a far bigger role and doesn't have injury concerns going into next season.
You know what I would consider here, and again, the problem is we don't know right now, because we're kind of thinking, could you trade Kepler or Polanco or both for current major leaguers that could jump in and be part of your rotation? And the reality is, I feel like, go ahead, Declan, get your screen back unblurred.
Come on.
There we go.
There you go. Nice work. Oh my God. That was a little bit scary with your face so close.
Just censor out Declan there for the YouTube audience. I think it's going to be really hard to take Max Kepler and get like a number 3 starter in return for like 1 year, 10 million. Teams are, in any other year, more teams would have the ability to take on $10 million of a good but not great outfielder, and Polanco with the injury concerns. Is there a way that you could eat some of that money and get prospects in return? And again, I'm not saying you're going to get someone's number 1 organizational prospect, but hear me out on this. Mm-hmm. If you can't fill Sonny Gray's shoes or cleats, apples to apples, 1 for 1, you still have the trade deadline in July to make something happen. I wouldn't love it. It would be nice if they would go out and at least spend a little bit of money on like a 1-year reclamation, something or another. Get another body in here so that you can send Louis Varland to the bullpen.
Right.
But could you get a little bit more prospect capital, and maybe you eat some of that money for Polanco and Kepler, and just, can I get an extra 3 or 4 prospects so that I have more of a prospect pool to trade from in June and July? If you can't do it 1 for 1 right now, could you at least feel better about your prospect collection, so that, all right, when it comes time in July, we got to pull the trigger. It's not going to hurt as much because at least we got those 4 guys in trades for Polanco and Kepler,
Certainly a possibility. And here's the thing, too, that's been weird is, and we've talked about this extensively because of the uncertainty regarding all of the Bally sports teams. It has been unbelievably quiet. Like, Cardinals made the Gray move. There are moves that the Dodgers, obviously, who are in a different TV world, are being incredibly aggressive. The only Central team that's made noise at all, Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because they're a Bally's team, and they clearly are, and they're not huge moves, but they're nice moves. I mean, I think that they're bolstering their team, but it's intriguing to look around baseball and realize, like, it's easy to be upset with the Twins, and I'm not going to blame fans if they are, but the lack of activity as a whole is really astounding. It's really quiet.
And it probably shouldn't have been like surprising because, like half the teams lost a big chunk of TV money, and there's just no structure to the offseason. But I don't know. So, but it's breaking news for us, and that's literally the first time in 3 weeks that there's been a new report about something Twins related. So they really, at this point, in most front offices, shut down from like sometime this week until sometime after the first of the year. So you're going to have a 2-week period that's dead too during the holidays. And so the Twins at this point are probably just going to chill until like the next deadline here is spring training, right?
Thanks, baseball. This is a lot of fun.
So, and I would say this: it's easy not right now to sit here and rip the Twins because they've lost these players, they haven't done anything. but a lot of their big moves, like the Josh Donaldson contract, for instance, right? Like, not that that worked out well, but that happened in
Correct.
like late January, I want to say.
Correct.
So there's still plenty of time for things to happen. And now that we're this far, it probably makes sense even for like agents and players to wait until there's a spring training deadline. So you might just have to, unfortunately, Twins fans, you might have to just sort of chill for a few weeks until something happens.
I'm not mad at the Twins right now. I am pissed off at baseball. I just, what are you people doing? Find a structure that allows this. Like, I don't think it's now. There was a time, I get it. The players push back. You're not going to have a salary cap, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah.
And there was a time where I'm like, okay, that is hard to get around, and it still is. But when you see every other sports league embrace the offseason now, and the NHL does it, the NBA is marvelous, the NFL's king of this, right? It pisses me off that we sit here and like Ohtani gets done. Okay, that's cool. But
Get
everybody
him, sports
said,
dad. Get him. Get their
but
asses.
everybody said when Ohtani's done, we're going to get moves. We're going to get moves. What have we gotten since then? And you're right. You know what? Shut down for the holidays. I don't give a bleep, but have some activity.
Yeah.
As a baseball fan, this pisses me off. This is now the new pace of play problem, in my opinion. Pace of off season. It's ridiculous. You're shooting yourself. You are basically volunteering to spend months being irrelevant because of your structure.
Yes, and they're probably not going to change it.
No, but I mean, I'm pissed about it. It's a game I love, and they've done a lot on the field, I think, to help it. I think, Dex is what, 23 years younger than me. And so like we should have nothing in common, perhaps, when it comes to sports, especially baseball, because I'm the old guy and he's the young guy. But I think we are perfectly aligned in this. Whatever your age, you want activity.
Yeah. Off-season stuff. Get something moving here.
Bull.
I mean, yeah, it's more frustrating because I know there's people like also mocking like, oh, do you the Royals think they can win the Central? The Central's up for grabs still.
Oh,
like,
dude,
yes,
it's
the Twins,
wide open.
the Twins might be the favorite for sure, but the Central is up for grabs. It's awful.
100%.
So good for the Royals to try to spark something, like in those moves, they won like 54 games last year. They were atrocious. Are they going to be in the conversation? Have they improved their roster? Yes, they have improved their roster. So yeah. I think that's what's also frustrating. You see a team like the Royals who are like making some substantial moves to at least try to put them in a better direction. And here the Twins sit, losing their starting pitcher, bullpen guys, having questions around their roster still, and everyone just saying, oh, but they're the favorites to win the Central. Well, you better start strengthening that case because other teams are going to start coming too.
Yeah, I'm gonna chill. I'm not gonna get mad at the Twins.
I'm worked up.
Until
I'm not mad at the Twins. I'm mad at baseball.
I'm gonna call Santa.
I'll say this: if the Twins report to spring training, and Louis Varland is the 5th starter, then I'm mad, because now your team is on paper officially like you're taking what I think could be one of your better relievers. I think, to me, it's like the Louis Varland line. If you want him to be your number 6 emergency starter, it's fine.
It's the Mendoza line?
Yeah.
It's your own personal Mendoza line, the Varland line.
I want him to be in the bullpen. I want your starting staff to be deep enough so that he can start in the bullpen as like your 7th inning flamethrower. And you got 2 months to make it happen, Twins. 2 months until pitchers and catchers report.
Yeah, get your act together, everybody.
Yeah. So, okay, let's do an Immaculate Grid challenge here. Shout out to our friends at this is the Grand Ole Game, right? The Grand Ole Creamery. With a couple different locations. So most folks know that the Grand Ole Creamery has been iconic in the Twin Cities as a small batch handcrafted ultra premium ice cream parlor with over 300 flavors and 32 on hand at any given time at their St. Paul Grand Avenue and Minneapolis Cedar Avenue locations. What you might not know about this 3rd-generation family-owned and operated delicious dessert destination is that the taste of the Grand Ole Creamery with 14% butterfat and locally sourced dairy farms is incredible. So check them out. You can stop in one of the 2 locations, Grand Avenue in St. Paul, Cedar Avenue in Minneapolis, Grand Ole Creamery. And just for the holidays, eggnog and winter wonderland flavors as well. And if you spill any of that ice cream on your floor, your carpets, or if your house just needs a deep clean, regardless, Zero Res is here. Yep, that's the answer. There's no better way to deep clean your house than with Zero Res. They have a 4.9 out of 5-star review on Google with 17,000 reviews, which is incredible positivity. from the zero res customers. If you ask for the SKOR North special, you can get 3 rooms, 0 resified, starting at just $129. 3 rooms, 0 resified, $129. That's 9520 res or 0resminnesota.com. You must ask for the SKOR North special. Spell it forward or backwards, it spells the same, 0 res. So Declan and I love the Saturday and sometimes Sunday editions of the grid because they hit you with a bunch of wacky categories and you can go really low on some of these. And we have one here that Judd's probably going to hate, including a new category.
I looked at it this morning when you told me about it. Yeah.
So you've been thinking on this for a couple hours. So we're looking for a red who hit 30 homers in a season, a red with a gold glove, and a red who was born outside the U.S. 50-state cluster, a Red Sox who hit 30 bombs in a season, a Red Sox who won a gold glove, and a Red Sox born outside the 50 U.S. states. And then we're looking for someone who pitched in a game who also hit 30 bombs in a season. That's an interesting one. Mm-hmm. Someone who pitched in a game and won a gold glove. So that's a wide one.
Yep.
It's any gold glove pitcher. And then someone who pitched in a game who was born outside, or a player. Could be, yeah, you're right, Dex.
I got a good one, I think, for it.
Who was born outside the 50 U.S. states. So that bottom right one is literally like any foreign pitcher that pitched ever. So we can go real low there. Well, hit us with the one. What you have one for what? The gold glove?
Gold glove and 1 game pitched.
So is this going to be a position player? Oh.
Yep. Brian Dozier won a gold glove with the Twins at second.
He pitched.
And he did pitch in a game. So
now he also would fit the 30 home run and pitched in a game.
True. He also did that. I also believe, though, another Twin option for that square, Michael Kadire has pitched in a game.
I watched him pitch in a game one time. Pretty sure.
Cuddy does have a 30 home run season to his name. So there's and if you guys really, I mean, you can go potentially with like former Twins relievers in these outside squares that we can think of. So there's actually a lot of Twins options in my opinion here.
Mm-hmm. So okay, the Dozier one could go in either one of those.
Yep.
Judd, did any other Twins players, just to keep it on Twins here for a fun second, any other Twins players that pitched
and had 30 plus 30 home runs in a season?
Well,
I think, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the Kadire Dozier thing.
Uh-huh.
You're saying if we did Dozier, because Cuddy never won a gold glove. He was kind of a thumper in the outfield. Dozier did.
Yep, Dozier did.
Let's start there.
Okay, gold glove, 1 pitcher. Ryan.
Below.
0.03.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And then the Cuddy, I'm just trying to think of other, I mean, that's pretty obscure for the
it's good.
Greater masses here, right?
Outside of like Twins fans and like maybe Rockies fans.
Babe Ruth is going to be the biggest answer there, right?
I think so.
Albert Pujols once pitched in a game toward the end of his career. They threw him in as kind of a fun deal. But that's going to be.
I bet Cuddy's going to be the lowest.
Let's do it. Come on, Cuddy. I love that you can just type in Cuddy.
0.2.
Nice.
I don't remember the opponent, but I feel
remember
like
him
I was in the
mound.
I think it was a home game, wasn't it? Because I feel like I asked him questions in the post game press conference about going out there and
oddly like Domit did.
No, Kadire was a great human being.
I know he was a real nice guy. Corner locker guy.
He was a corner locker.
Got tired of the locker room too.
Who are the let's keep it low here on the bottom right. Who are the most obscure foreign pitchers you can think of? I mean, we've thrown a few out. I've given you some from my beat writer days, like Esmerling Vazquez.
Right.
Was a guy they acquired in a trade.
That's a great one.
J.C. Romero, Denny's Reyes.
Big
Sweat.
I mean,
who was the Garces? Rich
Garces.
Another big man. I mean, there's a ton of great choices for this.
Who was he? Lester Oliveros was another one.
Wasn't John Roush from Canada?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think he was.
He was from Mars, I thought.
Yeah, he's 6'10".
Canada does count for sure for
Yep,
these.
Canada counts.
Did Luke Hughes ever pitch in a game? He's from Australia.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That would be awesome.
the two that I would throw out there are from beat writer days. Lester Oliveros or Esmerling Vasquez is like. I mean, Dennis Reyes is great, but
Did he pitch for the Reds? I think I have a good one for the Red Sox. You know, guys, remember they traded
Rich Garces pitched for the Red Sox, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, he
remember
did.
Fernando Abad?
Yeah.
There was
He's
like
a
the bridge reliever.
bad man.
Abad
Yep.
man. They traded him to the Red Sox in like 2018, so that would work.
Rich Garces. Let's do. Let's go. Okay.
So this is outside. I have outside highlighted, but I can go any other one here.
I'm just trying to think of. We're trying to go low here, so I'm trying to think of where to put these chips. Can we? Let's just burn the bottom right one, and just you guys pick either Lester Oliveros or Esmerling Vasquez, because those are so obscure.
Yeah,
And then we
Vasquez
can-
is. I'd say Vasquez is going to be.
ESMER. I would go his. Well, there you go. I guess.
Yep,
Vasquez
third.
Right
There it is.
Yep. That's going to be so low.
oh my God. Point
Yep.
007.
No,
Seven.
I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
cannot remember.
And then there's
That's
so
great.
many options. Okay. So for Red Sox, you mentioned Fernando Abad. It's a good one.
Old school would be Louis Tiant, who's
Louis
from Cuba, the former
Rich
Twin.
Garces, right? Are we
Rich
sure
Garces.
is Rich Garces? Now, we got to be careful too, because it's possible that like Rich Garces is from California or something, and we're just being, we're baseball profiling
Insensitive?
here. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
insensitive because of names.
But
I know
Fernando Abad is
Yeah,
Abad outing.
ABAD.
yeah, I remember him.
Abad.
It was not pretty. They're gonna be low.
0.06.
0.06. So we have 0.2, 0.0. We're at a total of like 0.3 right now. So we're not even to a half percentage.
All right. Did any of these?
I got one
relievers-
for Reds. I
Okay.
got one for it. It might be. You tell me, but I had him on my fantasy team for like 3 years, and he would have worked for Red Sox too. Willie Mo Pena was a thumper power hitter from like
Willie Mo.
15 or 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, first baseman, right?
Wasn't he like a
he would kind of
huge-
first baseman, outfield, but really a DH playing in the National League is probably the best way to.
Wasn't he like a absurdly hyped prospect? Too.
Willie Mo
Wasn't he?
Pena?
Yeah, or like a big international free agent signing or something. I remember.
Probably.
There was.
I mean,
some,
he hit like 100 some career homers, but
He had
it's
a
15 years
decent
ago.
career.
If you guys have reliever, I mean, Jose Rio would work here for
Yeah.
Reds.
That's the
Any
one I
Reds,
thought of,
Reds Twins.
Edinson Volquez.
Edinson Volquez.
But Edinson Volquez was also one of the best pitchers in the league for like a few years.
Is there any? Is there any Twins?
Shin-Soo Choo
Shin-Soo
once
Choo,
played. Shin-Soo Choo went Rangers, Reds,
Indians.
and
He's
in
with the Guards
Cleveland.
for a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On base machine.
He was also really good for like 12 years,
Yeah,
so
he
it's
was
hard
also
to.
really good. I think Willie Mo or you say Edison Volquez? Oh, no, it might be Willie Mo. Might be our best bet here.
Willie Mo. Just be under if we can keep this under like 3%. There's gotta be so many options. It's there you go.
Willie Mo.
Yep.
Come on. 1%.
Nice.
1%.
Nice.
That's what's the samples.
If we knew the Red Sox, or if we knew the Reds better, we could have picked whoever the
I bet there's someone.
Esmerling Vasquez equivalent was there. But
Yeah.
Now the Reds 30 plus home run, old school would be Ted Kluszewski,
Okay.
who wore cutoff sleeves with no undershirt.
I was
are
gonna
we
say
good on that?
Yeah, I was gonna say Jay Bruce, but that
Yep.
sounds way more rare.
What about, just to throw another name out? What about Eric Davis? I think Kluszewski's probably going to be more obscure than.
Yeah, Eric Davis was really. I mean, I think he's still in Reds lore. I think Reds fans are going to pick Eric
Ken Griffey
Davis.
Jr.,
Yeah.
Adam Dunn.
Like, I mean, benching those guys. Oh,
Yeah,
but I
they'll
mean, they're
be
they're
high.
huge. Those guys are household
Let's go old
names.
school. Let's go old school.
Ted Kluszewski.
Come on, be under 5.
There he is.
Are there even? I can't try to think of the Reds are not like
Oh, he's
4%.
4.
4%.
Okay.
That's.
But I don't know. Like some of these,
Look at that.
like with the Reds, it's funny because they've been around since the 1870s.
Yep.
But they,
Right.
considering they've been around for 150 years, they don't have like that many prominent players. Unlike the Red Sox, for instance, who
They do
wanna
from
go
the
old-
70s. They do from the
Right.
70s, though.
That's fair. If you want to go old school again, we've used this guy before in the power categories for 40 home run and for other things. Jimmy Fox would be a Red Sox
Old
option.
school. Love the old
You could go like Jim Rice. Judge brought Jim Rice to the table. My feeling with like the modern ones is
Jimmy
any
Fox.
sort of Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, these guys are going to be too high.
Jimmy
Yep.
Fox.
There he is.
2%.
2%.
Nice, okay.
Dude, didn't Adrian Beltre mash for a year?
Yeah, I
and-
think like a year and a half there or something.
I guess he could work as a Gold Glove. Did he win a Gold Glove in Boston?
I don't think so.
I don't
He
remember.
seemed like a butcher. Could be wrong
Adrian
on that.
Beltre?
Oh, Beltre. I thought you said Adrian. I was thinking Adrian Gonzalez. But Beltre might. But he only spent 1 year there.
Oh, Dwight Evans, maybe the right fielder. He had to have won a Gold Glove. I'm
Did
trying to think of.
Veritek win a
Rick
Gold Glove? I
Burleson?
feel like Jason Veritek.
Probably
Like,
did.
Reputation.
Yastrzemski was a Gold Glove player back in the day. That might be high.
Gold
Yeah.
Glovers. I think
Dwight,
Pedroia
you said
won
who-
one, but that might be high.
Yeah, Pedroia is a pretty prominent name.
Ellsbury.
Dwight
The
Evans.
older we can go here with the Gold Gloves, probably the better.
Rick Burleson was their shortstop, the Rooster, but I don't. And he was good. He was a good fielder, but I don't remember if the Rooster won a Gold Glove because there were some. Because that's back when baseball was great glove shortstops who didn't hit.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Belanger for Baltimore is the prime example, and he did win Gold Gloves. All
Euclid?
right, what do you get?
Kevin Euclid?
The Greek out of walks.
Greek out of
and
walks?
scoops.
I think he got one or two. I feel like he did. Uke might be good. I would like Uke, Veritek are ones that come to mind for me.
If we can go, if Judd feels good about, you said
But if,
Dwight Evans.
Dewey Evans, yeah. But I mean,
If you feel good there,
I'd
then
hate to
that's gonna be the best.
but I'd hate to sabotage this.
Well, let's save it. Let's save it for
this-
drama.
this
Okay.
great.
Let's go to the Reds one here, where Scott Rowland won a Gold
Yeah,
Glove
Rowland.
once.
I was thinking Roland.
Barry Larkin.
Johnny Bench. No, that was after
Yeah,
Gold
bench.
Glove.
No, I think you're right. I think bench qualified. Gold Glove started when?
Like the 50s.
Yeah, then bench won one.
57.
Bench won a few, I'm sure. Yep, I'm sure you're right on that. Davey Concepcion at short, maybe. I don't know.
Ooh. Dave Conception.
I hate to throw around shortstops though, because there's so much.
I think
Competition there.
Roland might be our bit because he just had a
Yep.
pit stop there and he was good, but he's not remembered as a Red.
Okay.
True.
Roland.
He won.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he won Gold Gloves at. Well, for sure, he was one of the only ones to win it at 2 different places. Did he also win? Did he do it 3 different places?
He might have. He was.
Did he do
St.
Phillies,
Louis.
Reds, and St. Louis?
He might. Yeah. He was.
He might have.
He might have been a 3-stop Gold Glove guy.
All right.
But that's okay.
3%.
So let's do it.
Dwight Evans.
I don't know. That's our best shot, old school here. To go real quick before you type this in. What are we at right now? Can you erase that? So we're at 4-2. We're at 6.
This is
9%,
way more- I ain't doing
10.
this math.
We're at we're under 11% right now. This is pretty damn good.
Dwight
Don't
Evans.
include me. Yep, Dwight Evans.
We are including you.
Come on,
You-
one time.
you threw out
Let's
the
go.
gas.
Let's go. Yeah.
Immaculate.
Bang.
What was he at?
Yes.
7% rarity.
7%. Okay.
But that's still, some of these, there might not be, like, how many Gold Glovers are there at these teams, right? You might not be able to get a 0.5%. 23 dude, so 44 combined Gold Glovers in the 300 years of history between those 2 ball clubs. Wow. But the Gold Glove only goes back to 57, but still.
Right.
Yeah,
Good job, guys. Good job.
All right, nice work. Pedro.
So Pedro Martinez got 12% on the pick literally any foreign player who pitched in a game.
There's 1,300, almost 1,400 options, so it'd be pretty hard. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I
That's
guess.
hilarious.
Hey,
Babe Ruth,
had you
there you go.
guys seen the story? Because it was the clip was retweeted this weekend about when David Ortiz got released and how Pedro was in the restaurant when Ortiz got the call.
Released by the Twins.
By the Twins, yeah. When the Twins released him, Ortiz was at a table. Pedro saw him and is like, "What's going on, buddy?" Blah blah blah. and Ortiz was sort of down a little bit. And then he gets a phone call, or no, he's on the phone, and he's like, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
It was the Twins, probably Terry, calling to say, we've released you. And so
calling to say you don't hit the ball the other way.
And so he
you don't
gets
hit the ball the
so the
opposite
phone
field
call.
enough.
So Pedro goes and sits down and says, I saw Ortiz, and like his head went down.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've never seen this guy sad in my life before.
They told me
so
I got to keep the ball on the ground.
So he went back to him. It's like, what's up, my friend? What's wrong? And Ortiz is like, the Twins just released me. And Pedro Martinez goes, that's great news. And he
Come
gets
build
on the
a
phone.
dynasty with
he
me.
calls
It'll be
Theo
great.
Epstein, the ownership at the time, called like 4 people and said, we got to sign this guy. He's like, this is the greatest thing ever. You got released.
God.
I had never seen that before.
It is the Babe Ruth being sold for like $100,000 in whatever year it was, 1921, by the Red Sox to the Yankees, was forever viewed as the worst baseball transaction. At least the Red Sox got $100,000 for Babe Ruth.
Right.
The Twins didn't get
right?
anything. No, they
Like
just
a
sold
play
it.
No. Supposedly the owner of the Red Sox was trying to fund a play called No Nanette, but that has now been refuted as being an urban legend and not true. But Phil's right. They got money for it. The Twins got nothing. They got Matt LeCroy.
Theatrical production, you know that.
The Twins got Matt LeCroy, or they kept him because of that.
They didn't get him. They kept him. They got
No,
nothing.
but I'm saying they picked
elevated
him.
Matt LeCroy. Yeah.
They were like at a beauty pageant, and they picked LeCroy.
Yeah. So, that happened in Twins history. Hey, good job today, guys. 11% on that grid.
Nice work, guys.
Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. These off-season episodes of the SKOR North Twin Show. We'll hit you with a random twin later this week.